All right, so you got a deal you want to take a look at to see if the numbers work so you can send an offer to a realtor that's waiting. Nice job. What kind of deal is it?
It is going to be a subject to deal.
Ooh, all right. What's the mortgage balance?
The mortgage balance is 251,348.
All right, I'm just gonna do 252 because it's easier. Just for this. What's
Okay.
the mortgage payment?
It is 1662.
Okay. What's the interest rate?
It is 6.87.
Damn. All right. And then what are we giving them as a down payment?
It would be 10,000, and that's including the realtor commission as well.
No shit. Sorry, Mom. That's a good one. What's the rent? Tell me it's good. Come on. This sounds like a winner.
It is, give me 1 second, 2285.
I'm just gonna do 2,300 then. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I was like, there's no way. What was it? 1660 something?
1662, yeah.
Look at that. That works. Damn. And you have this at a 9.1. You want to know how much you could make?
Please enlighten me.
Hold on. Oh, wrong one. Hybrid. This is a sub 2. So let's give them, see if we can get an extra $2,000 out of that. I mean, I know we can. Oh, you can get more than that. Let's see. Okay, so what about 14,000? There you go. Yeah, you can probably safely charge about, call it $10,000 to $14,000 on this deal, and no buyer would bat an eye at that, because basically what you're saying is, hey, you can get a property for $276,000, and all you got to pay is $24,000, and it'll make you $3,500 a year. Now, it would be nice if this was a little bit lower. Do you know how much longer they have on the mortgage?
No, but I could easily check very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, not that it's going to matter too much, but your value add to any investor, if it's close, which we'd have to find out what they bought it for. If it's close, then once that goes away, and then yeah, they're making 23,000 a year. That's phenomenal. So they're going to have the lower end for now, but it's still a good deal. Yeah, this is a fantastic deal.
Okay, yeah, the mortgage is it's a newer mortgage from last year.
Oh, so it's still got about 29 years on. Okay, that's fine. It's still a good deal. Yeah, this works.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem. All right, who's next? Who else has got a question? Anybody? Henry, what's up?
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Fantastic, man. How you doing?
Good, good. I just had a quick question. I've got a seller that's interested. They want to see a contract, so I'm filling it out. And under the buyer portion, since we don't have an end buyer yet, is that my information? I put my name and sign my name?
That's correct. And then once you get the assignment contract, once we find a buyer, we'll get the assignment contract, and that will assign the responsibilities of the buyer from you to the end buyer, who's actually going to pay for it.
Okay. And then since I don't have the email of the actual seller, I'm just using the email of the realtor. Is that okay?
No, don't do that. So what you want to do is, when a real estate agent is asking for the contract for review, we're not at the point where they want to sign yet, they haven't agreed to anything, but they're like, hey, send me your paperwork. So what you're going to do is you're going to send the paperwork just as a PDF. So you're going to fill it out with all the information for the applicant, everything like that. All the terms, you're going to sign it, your information at the bottom. Once that's done, you're not going to put the real estate information in there, because then that's going to be giving the real estate agent the authority to sign the contract on behalf of the. You want to do that. So once you've signed it and the contract has been filled out, you just download it from DocHub, DocuSign, whatever. There'll be an arrow in the top right. It'll have an arrow with a box around it. The arrow will be pointing down. That's the download button. You download it as a PDF and then just attach it to an email and email it to the real estate agent. And you just leave the seller name blank. And then once they're ready to actually proceed and move forward with the deal, then you ask the real estate agent, hey, what's the seller's email address, so I can send them a signable copy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I made the mistake to already send that out. Should I just email them back and say, hey, disregard that last DocuSign and here's the a readable or just a
Yeah.
copy of the.
Here's a readable copy. Perfect.
Okay. All right, I'll do that now then. Thank you. And also to find closing companies near me, do I just like Google like my area and just find what title companies?
I would find a title company. Are you wholesaling in your own market?
Yes.
Okay, so then yeah, as long as the seller is in the same market, then yeah, you can find a title company that's local to both you guys.
Okay. And then if I'm looking outside of where I live, does it need to be local to the seller?
It should be local to the seller. Yeah, you want to make it convenient for them. And then because you won't have to sign anything. The only people that have to sign something once the title company gets involved will be the seller to sign their final documents and collect their money, and the buyer. So the buyer, chances are, is going to be local to where the property is. And even if they're not, the title company is going to send a mobile notary to go sign their paperwork. So that's fine. What we want to do is cater to the seller. So we want to pick a title company that's in their area. So that way, if they want to go into the office, they can go into the office. That makes a lot of sellers feel comfortable, makes them feel more like, okay, this is legit. Or if they don't want to go to the office and they're already comfortable, at least it'll be local. We can send a mobile notary. They can have that option. The buyer, they don't care either way.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries. James, what's up, man?
Hey, Sean. A mobile home in a park where there is lot rent,
Mm-hmm.
should we stay away from those or
Yeah.
should we cut through those?
Yeah, you should stay away from those. Here, unless, and this is a big unless. My default answer, stay away from it. But you've been doing this long enough to where I'm comfortable giving you the caveats because I know you'll take those at face value. If the property, even with lot rent, still cash flows, it's in a decent area, and there's a good, healthy rental market, then yeah, you can still do it. It's just that's very rare. Typically,
Right.
in a more where the rent is like super high, there isn't a mobile home park there. There's a high rise or something, or just a normal condo complex. So chances are, and if the lot rent is really cheap, then that area is probably not the best, and then investors won't want to put their tenants there. So it would have to be a super solid deal and a good cash on cash return and entry fee for an investor to get mobile homes, unless you find one that specializes in mobile homes. That's local. Then you can, then you can cater and just find deals for them.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it.
No worries. All right, who's next? Who's got a question?
So when these realtors are, I've ran into a couple different realtors that have had a lot of different questions about the subject to agreements. And I know a lot of them have had like bad experiences in the past. So how can I kind of like overcome that objection and get them to realize like it's going to put more money into their seller's pocket?
Well, which objection are we tackling? So I heard
Realtor
two.
condition.
Right, but I heard two. So is it the fact that the deal is a good deal, or is it the fact that they've been burned before and we're trying to overcome that?
I would say they've been burned in the past. That would probably be the biggest one.
Okay. And how are you finding out that they've been burned in the past? Are they telling you that out of anger, or are they telling you that as a warning, or are you asking?
No. The most recent realtor that I just got off the phone with before I hopped on here, they actually freely told me, but I've had a situation where somebody gave me a little bit of pushback, and I kind of just went ahead and asked them, like, have you been like dealing with any wholesalers in the past or any real estate investors in the past? And they would end up telling me their experience.
Gotcha. And that's beautiful that you asked that question. That's a perfect thing to do. Because if you don't know what you're up against, what objection you're dealing with, then you can't fight it. So here's what I typically do. And this is going to sound, I don't know, arrogant, I guess. It's not. It is what it is. I don't get the same type of pushback as a lot of people because I don't sound like most people. So in answer to the first question, when they've been burned by somebody else before. And you've already asked, they've told you, yeah, I've tried this before, I got burned. At that point, you need to set the proper expectations. That's the best thing that you can do. And you should also try and work in a little bit of under promise, over deliver. So what does that sound like? That sounds a lot like, let me see, hold on. What's your first name?
Sean.
No shit. What's up, Sean? SH or SE?
SHON.
Oh, it's all right. You got your own tribe. You can run that one. I'll take the SHA. All right. Anyway, it would sound something like this. Sean, you know what? I completely understand where you're coming from. I've been wholesaling for so long. You wouldn't believe how many bad wholesalers I see. I see them say these things and make these promises, and I just shake my head and I hope it works out for them, even though I know it's not going to. So let me tell you a little bit what I'm trying to do. Full disclosure. Yes, I am 100% attempting to wholesale this deal. I have been wholesaling creative deals for a very long time, particularly in this market. I have 8, call it 7, just to be on the safe side, 7 really strong buyers, local, that basically pay me to find these deals. If we can get something locked up close to what I sent you, or exactly what I sent you, I got a little bit of wiggle room, not much. As long as I can get this deal to cash flow for my investors, they'll take it. And the best part is, I'm not asking you to be under contract for months and months and months. I'm literally asking you for 2 weeks. The property's already been listed for X amount of days. At this point, I'm just trying to help you get it sold.
Right.
You can give me 2 weeks to get it moved. I'll bring you my buyer and we'll get it done. And if I can't find you a buyer, I'll let you know as soon as I know, hey, I'm not gonna be able to get this moved. And on top of that, I'll bring you feedback. I'll tell you why my buyers passed on it. And then maybe you can talk to the seller and we can get things adjusted on their end and make this happen. Does that sound fair to you?
Okay.
It's really important that, so let me ask you a question. If I was the investor, or I'm the wholesaler, you're the real estate agent, I'm talking to you, do you understand, based off what I told you, where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to do?
Yes, I do.
And even though you've been burned before now I know you haven't been burned, we're just role playing, but had you been burned, I mean, you know what deception looks like, you know what betrayal looks like. If you had been burned before and I told you that, and I sounded as sincere as I sounded just now, and I laid out my entire plan, would you feel comfortable at least entertaining moving forward?
Yes, of course. Of course.
And that's the exact same question that I would ask any real estate agent that I sent that to. Hey, look, I know you've been burned, and I'm not trying to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time either. If you're not interested in working with a wholesaler, I get it. But based off what I just told you, are you comfortable at least entertaining what this would look like?
Okay.
I mean, you don't, obviously you guys know me. You don't have to copy everything that I say word for word. I would prefer that you guys, instead of trying to sound like a shitty version of me, do an awesome version of you, because that's going to sound better because it's you. So just take whatever. And if you need me to repeat anything, I can. Kind of flew off the cuff there a little bit, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I can repeat any of that. But yeah, just basically the bottom line is explain to them where you're coming from, empathize where they've been, explain to them how you're different, acknowledge what they went through, let them know the entire plan, and then ask them, based off what I told you, would you at least entertain what it would look like moving forward? That's a soft yes. That's all you're looking for. You're just trying to move that needle down the line. Doesn't have to be 10 yards every time.
Okay, perfect. And I guess my last question for you is, the realtor that I just got off the phone with, he said that his commission was pretty much like non-negotiable. So how do I navigate? Because his commission was like $6,000, and it could still possibly work, but is there a way that I could possibly negotiate his commission down, or is his commission just kind of his commission?
Well, there's 2 ways you can do that. One is a little sneaky. Yeah, one's a little, not sneaky. It's just a little gray. Put it that way. It's in the gray. And if it were me, it's what I would do. What's the purchase price?
For this deal specifically, it is 111,968 is the mortgage, and they were trying to sell it for 112.5.
So $112,000, this real estate agent's charging 5% and saying it's not negotiable. How long has it been on market?
It's been on market for about 184 days.
All right, I'm not going to let you know what I would do because this is being recorded. So let me tell you what you can do. What you can say to the real estate agent is just say, okay, and then push the deal out with the real estate agent's commission built into the deal and hope that we just get it sold as is and we don't have to ruffle any feathers. Me
Right.
personally, I like ruffling feathers, especially janky feathers. So I would hope that the deal that we do get offers and the price is lower. And then I would go back to the real estate agent and I would say, hey, can we throw the seller and you can we do a three-way so we can, I want to get you guys an update on where we are. And then once it's on a three-way, I would start by saying, okay, here's where we are. We've got this offer, this offer. Here's our most promising offer right here. And it's X amount of dollars. Now, unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent, because of your fee, I mean, they're not willing to come up any higher. So how do you want to handle that? Are you willing to come down on your fee a little bit? Or do you want me to tell this buyer, no? Now with the seller on the phone, the real estate agent is now stuck. You have done what my mother used to hate that I do to her. Put her on the spot. You put that real estate agent on the spot, they have no choice but to say, oh, well then, yeah, I can work on my commission if that's what it takes to get the deal done because they're on the phone with the seller. That's what they have to say because the property's been listed for 184 days.
Okay.
That's what you can do.
And option B?
Call's being recorded. No. We're gonna keep this in the gray because because here's the thing. I don't like greedy. Everything is ruined by greed. It's everything. Think of anything in the world other than sociopaths. It's all greed. And that's usually what ruins everything. I can't stand when there's a $10,000-$15,000 assignment on the table and a wholesaler is willing to like blackmail. Like that's the thing that's been going around a lot in other discords. So what'll happen is, let's say, Sean, you lock up the deal with the seller, right? You get a buyer in place, everything's good. They've getting ready to move. We're days from closing, and you call them back and you say, hey, the seller just changed their mind and said they're not going to do it for X amount of dollars. They want to do it for $10,000 less.
Right.
So you're essentially holding them hostage. Like, hey, take 10,000. And that's none of that's true. The wholesaler is keeping that extra 10 grand. They just waited to the last minute to hold the deal over that. I hate that. If $10,000-$15,000 isn't enough for you for doing some paperwork and making a couple phone calls, yeah, I can't work with you. And that goes the same for real estate agents. You've had this property on market for 180 days doing what to earn $6,000 of the seller's money? What have you done? See, to me, that's just a little dishonest. I thought I legit thought you were going to say the purchase price was like $500,000. That's like, okay, that's what I already had what I was going to say planned out. Oh, it's only 1.5%. That's fine. You hit me with a 5%. And now it's one thing if it's 5% and you get the house sold in a month. Okay, yeah, you're worth every penny. Charge more. 180 days? Nah, man. I don't think that's right. But if the deal works, that's none of my business. Let's get you paid, get the buyer a house, and get the seller their money, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Yeah, and he had a little bit of trouble like understanding why it could possibly work. And I tried to explain to him that because typically when somebody invests in a rental property, they have to pay 20%, right?
Yeah. That 20% down to the bank, not including closing costs.
Exactly. So I was trying to explain to him like, hey, we're at like a 12% entry fee, which is like very attractive to an investor opposed to putting 20% down before closing costs. And he kind of wasn't like understanding what I was saying. So how could I beef that up to provide more clarity to the real estate agent?
What's your experience in real estate, Sean?
As far as
just in general. So I know how in detail in this answer I have to give you.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been doing wholesaling for about 3 years now.
Oh shit. Then just explain to him the difference. Say, look, man, you're a real estate agent. if my investor were to go to a bank to get a loan for this property, they'd have a mortgage, they'd have an interest rate, they'd have to put 20% down plus closing costs. With my method, my investors are looking to do less than 15% entry fee and 0% so they can do their max cash flow. That's what this deal is. That's why my investors want these deals and why your property's been sitting on market for 184 days with you trying to charge $6,000.
I'm gonna have to send you this dude's number. It sounds like you got a bone to pick with him.
I don't like greedy and I don't like liars.
Yeah.
I don't like any of them. Hell,
Yeah,
we
but
can
everything
murder
else works
Justin
for
Bieber.
everything else works for sure. We're just waiting for them to ask the seller and the seller to give us the green light to be able to send over the filled out paperwork. They just wanted to see a PDF copy, kind of like what you were talking about with Henry before he hopped off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty typical. And then a lot of times they'll just say, hey, give me this and this and this a month. Yeah, and then you get it. They send over the purchase contract with it to be signed. It's fine. Most real estate agents will ask for that. They're like, hey, just send me your numbers on paper. Let me take a look at it, which is always a good sign. It's always, and that's always better than no, which is what we're used to getting. So yeah, I say stay up. But here's another thing I told somebody else, and you don't sound like you have this problem. So I'm more talking to the newer people into wholesaling or sales in general. Powerful people, we don't chase. We call, we follow up once or twice, and then we move on. We don't chase, especially if someone's ghosting us. If it's absolutely intentional, we don't chase. I saw one guy today. He was about to chase a realtor, double text, triple text. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I said, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. He didn't do it. And the hours and hours and hours later, Sean, they responded. Of course they did, because you didn't chase them. Don't chase. Again, not talking to you. You're Sean, so we don't chase.
I understand.
I know you do. I wasn't talking to you. That name Sean doesn't go out lightly. All right, who else has got a question? Oh, what's up, Amber? I didn't even see you. Zach, how's it going? Mark, Ithaca. Anybody else have a question? What's going on, Taylor? You're late. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is open forum. So if you guys don't have a question, I'm gonna let y'all go. This will be the fastest training I've ever done. Not that I'm forcing you guys to stay on here. I just want to make sure that you guys know I'm gonna be here to help you underwrite your deals, answer questions, stuff that I would do in Discord. I'm going to be doing this here live. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay in this for another 30 minutes. In the live. So if you guys want to jump out, go do some calls or do whatever, you guys can. If you guys just want to talk about wholesaling, we can do that until someone does have a question. It's entirely up to you guys. But if no one has a question in the next half an hour, then I'll go ahead and cut it short.
Okay, cool. I actually, well, I guess I'll be the one asking all the questions then.
Let it rip.
So, Sean, right now I'm currently targeting specific cities near where I'm from. So I live in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm all around Virginia as well as North Carolina. That's just the closest places to me. Now, if I'm looking to find some more low equity areas that I can do some more sub 2 deals in, what areas besides Ohio should I be targeting?
Let's see. Bessemer, Alabama. That's a good one. Let's see. Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. That's a good one. Let's see. What's another good one? Scottsdale, Arizona. That's a good one.
Okay.
What
was that first one?
Which one?
Bessemer, Alabama.
Bessemer.
Bessemer. How you spell that?
Bessmer, I think. No, I think it's Bessemer. I don't know. I don't spell it, so I can write it down.
It's okay. I got it.
Yeah. And then the other one, I'm not even going to try it. Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
I got that one.
I don't know how to spell that one.
Okay.
And then Scottsdale is a good one. Scottsdale, Arizona. Anything in the Golden Triangle in Texas is good. And let's see. Believe it or not, another good one is Las Vegas.
I've been seeing a lot of Las Vegas. Well, I do PPL, and I also do like the
Ooh,
creative
that's
finance
expensive.
offer. So
PPL, what company do you use?
Speed Delete.
How do you like them?
See, all right. So I'll give my honest opinion on them, right?
That's all
So
I ever
when I
asked for.
first started off, I started with my mentor. His name is Daryl. He lives in North Carolina. He started doing all his deals on Facebook ads at first, and then he switched over to Speed to Lead, and he was doing a consistent 30 to 40 a month. So I was like, okay, let me give it a try. My first month doing it, I fucking hated it. It was like a lot of, but you get your money back for bad leads. So if you end up running into a bad lead, you can send in like a voice recording or a text message saying that they're not interested anymore, or they're already under contract. You get your money back. So that's what I like about it. But yeah, it's been a lot better for me recently. I kind of fell out with wholesaling for about a couple months. I had like a car accident, but I did a $87,000 novation deal off of there. So they will always get my business.
It's so funny. People are still just now like trying to find out, not trying to find out, but are just now finding out what novations are and why you can make so much money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
My first novation deal, I made $700.
Really?
I messed up because I have that personality where I just jump in. Like someone says, "Oh, go build a rocket. We're going to the moon in a couple of months." All right, bet. I'm grabbing some stuff and I'll figure it out. Like I will figure it out. I always do.
Right.
Well, in that novation, I didn't figure it out. I thought I was gonna make like $27,000. I got my check. I said, I held it up. You know it's bad when you hold your check up to the sun so you can like get some more light so you can see it. And that's exactly what I did. I said, there's a 2 missing. And I looked at the HUD. Nope, I missed I did not realize that I was also on the hook for all the rehab that needed to be done after the inspection. Like I know that now. Now saying that out loud, that's ridiculous that I didn't realize that, but I didn't realize it. I was new. So it needed a roof, it needed electrical work, it needed some plumbing, and some little crack in the foundation was messed up. Had to be 20 grand.
And did you pay that the day of closing, or did you go ahead and get it done before they could get you through the inspection?
No. I put it in. So here's what I did know. Anytime I do a novation, because I'm an OPM guy, other people's money. So the last one that I had, same thing. It needed a roof, or just part of the roof. It wasn't like a full tank. It was just the back end over the patio. And I called a roofing company and I said, hey, I got a deal in escrow. Just found out from the inspector that we need this part of the roof done. Are you cool getting paid at closing? We're a week out. We'll close a week after you finish. He said, oh yeah, sure. We can do that. So he went out there the next day, gave me an estimate. I said, yeah, cool. I don't really care. And then, do it. And it's all paid out through escrow. So that I have always had set up in, from my first novation, every novation, any work that needs to be done, I make sure it's paid out of escrow because I built 27, 30 grand into that deal. I just think
right. Okay.
Ooh, that check hurt. I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I believe
but it hurt.
So this one that I'm working on right now in North Carolina, it is luckily it's a 2017 build, so hopefully I won't need to do too much, but I got it under contract for 200. I saw a home that was 13 years older that sold for 227 in January. So I was thinking bare minimum we would get 240 for that 2017 build. Hopefully we can get a little bit more than that, but I wasn't going to do anything more than probably spice up some landscape and plant some flowers, do some mulch, stuff like that. Just make it the curb appeal a little bit better and hopefully get 250 and profit about 30 to 50 grand depending on where it sells it.
See, that's the difference in styles, because that I don't want to do none of that. I tried to flip once. My first flip was it was a hoarder house. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,503 square feet. I'll never forget it. And it was a hoarder house, and then the people who lived in there also did meth, and I didn't know that.
Oh wow.
So when let me tell you something. first of all, when they moved out, it took 4 30-yard dumpsters to clean all that, just the junk out, not the trash out. I'm sorry, just the trash out, not the demo, none of the pulling the walls, the piper down, none of that, just the garbage. For
$8,000.
whoo, no, it was more than that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, it was more than that. No. We were in the city. They charged. Yeah, Waste Management was not playing. They said, yeah, we know you need it. So they charged for it. So anyway, it was close. It was like 9,600. So then we did that. And then when I tell you, you ever walk in someone's house and it's like an older type of house, it's got old school decor, it's got that off-white wall color, like that eggshell.
Yeah.
So I walked over. Now I had gloves on because I'm not stupid. I used to work in hospitals. So I put some gloves on and I walked over to Chris. Chris was the guy who was running the rehab. And he said, Sean, come here. And I walked over to him and he said, put your hand on the wall and drag. And I put my hand on the wall and I dragged down, and all that yellow was actually sludge from the smoking and all the other grody-ness that's going on in there. So anyway, long story short, that turned me off of flips completely. So I don't even doing landscaping, curb. I don't want to do none of that. I like buying holds.
Yeah.
I like making nice places and then watching the people like when they see it. That's all. I just like the look on their face. Like, yep, I did a good job. Pat me on the back. All right, next. That's me.
Yeah. So even and I'm talking about not even spending max like $500 on like materials to spice up like the curb appeal, and then possibly just paying somebody to get in there and just clean up a little bit before I start taking pictures. But yeah, I don't plan on doing anything too crazy.
And that's why you got that $87,000 check. Nice job. Nice job.
It.
Yeah, you always get into it you always get out of it what you put into it. So that's good. That's fantastic, man. I guess. Oh shit. I'm sorry, Ithaca. What can I do for you?
Hey Sean, how you doing?
Fantastic. I didn't see your hand up. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at the screen.
It's cool. So school is back in, right? Spring break is over, so I'm back to the grind. I'm not cranking out as many as I did during spring break. I'm averaging like 10 or 15 emails a day.
Okay.
I'm not getting any hits. And I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Just gonna let you know. And I was thinking, like where can I branch out? Because I'm not getting any hits here. Either the real estate agents are replying back and they're just cut and dry, like, this is a no for me, or they're just not responding at all. I'm just getting crickets. So, can you give me, like your thoughts on? I'm thinking about branching down to Macon, Valdosta, Savannah, Augusta, even moving west to Alabama, moving north to Nashville, Tennessee. Like, what are your thoughts? And what do you
Well,
think about Atlanta?
I hear it's very humid there, so I've never been. Despite my color, I like the cold.
Listen, I am from Atlanta. I love the humidity. I
Oh,
love it.
and you can keep it. That's all for you. I like the cold. I'm the guy that when it's a blizzard outside, I'm making snow angels in shorts and a tank top. That's me. So I can't do the heat. I used to live in a place where it was pretty hot, and nope, I'm good. But as far as your deals are concerned, let's break down what you're doing first. So are you texting or emailing your offers?
I'm emailing through my Gmail account, through my business Gmail.
Okay.
So this is also on my to-do list. I was going to go into Google Workspace and turn my business name into mybusinessname.com, because just looking at the chat thread, the main chat thread, it seems like I might be going to spam most of the time.
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
could be it. So that leads me to my next question. When you send out these offers, are you tracking them on a Google Sheet or any other CRM?
Yes, I'm using the Google Sheet that you gave us.
Perfect. And then how long after you send an email out do you wait for a response before you call or text the real estate agent to follow up and see if they got it?
I haven't been doing that.
I think that's what you're missing.
Okay.
So the people who are getting the highest percentage of at least interaction with real estate agents are following up. So what I typically recommend, if it's been 24 hours and you hear crickets, nothing, a phone call or even for you, because of, spring break's over, a text message. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, this is Ithaca. I sent you an offer on property 123 Main Street, and I sent it to this email address. Did you get it?
Okay.
Because then it's either going to be one of a couple of things. I didn't get it, but I'll take a look. And then after that, if they ghost you after that, follow up again. Now, that's not chasing. That's following up. Chasing would be, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? 5 times back to back in one day. We're not doing that. So they're either going to say, I didn't get it. Let me check my spam. I'll look, or some variation of that. Or they'll say, yes, I got it. Not interested. In which case, okay, next, on to the next. And then, or they'll say, hey, yes, I did get it. I want to talk to you about it. When can we talk? So by following up with a real estate agent after you don't hear anything, that'll give you most of the time a definite answer. It'll either be yes, no, or let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the piece that you're missing. I think you should try that the rest of this week and see if that changes your, at least how many responses or how many interactions you're having with real estate agents.
Okay. So you think that Atlanta's still a hot market, or
Oh yeah, I
should
think
I
Atlanta,
head south or in east?
No, Atlanta's fine. How long have you been working Atlanta? Realistically.
Less than 30 days.
Okay, yes, you can stay in Atlanta. You know how many houses are listed in Atlanta? You've probably hit maybe 2% of what's listed. You've got more than enough space to keep working there.
Okay.
And then, if you do want to branch out, just make sure you stick to a population over 500,000.
Okay.
Let's
Awesome.
see.
Thank you.
You are welcome. David, what's up? David, you're muted if you're talking, bro. There you go.
Yeah. Yes. What's going on? So my question was similar to hers. It's just, I've been working it, and I've been getting a few hit ups, but it's kind of starting to go dead. But I didn't realize that maybe the emails are going to spam. I don't know. So in your opinion, as you said, like that's the best bet. Like once you send the email, like just respond back, just hit them up like the next day or two, just to see if, because I just figured like that if I wasn't getting a response, it's because they already know the seller was saying they're not going to be interested in it.
It could be. That could be the reason. And it's also just as, if not more likely, that it's going into their spam folder and they're not even seeing it. That's why we follow up with them at least 24 hours later. Not any sooner than that. We're not thirsty. But 24 hours later, if you haven't heard anything from them, call them or shoot them a text. Hey, I just sent you an offer on this property yesterday. Did you get it? That's a completely fair and reasonable text message to send to a real estate agent from someone who's sending them an offer. And then that'll get you an answer. It'll be like, yeah, I got it, not interested, or some variation of that, or no, I didn't get it. Let me check my spam. Now, if they don't answer you after that, you wait 24 hours again, and then you follow up again. Was it in your spam? Did you get it? Did you see it? And that'll get you an answer. Yes, I saw it, not interested, or no, I still don't have it, or yes, I saw it. Let's talk about it. When can we get on the phone?
Yeah, because I'm not into, because I see people having success, and I know some people, they'll like to complain. They'll be like, oh, this doesn't work. And like, I don't think like that. That's why I asked, because I was like, if people are getting results, they're clearly doing something that I'm still not doing yet properly. So I'm just trying to get the best clarification of where to go, move forward.
Yeah, your money is in the follow-up.
Yeah.
In all sales, if it's either a one-call close or your money's in the follow-up. So if you're not following up with these real estate agents, then you're leaving money on the table. Because chances are a high probability They never even saw it.
Okay. Now, and also too, now I'm some of them, I'm also getting like, so they'll ask for the proof of funds, and then I'll say like the whole breakdown, like, I have the buyers in the city, this and that, and then it just goes dead. Like, and then one lady, she was going back and forth with me, like, not like mean spirited, but she was like, look, bro, like, if I don't know who the end buyer is, like, I'm not even gonna talk to the sellers or whatever. And I'm like, I explained everything, but I'm like, how am I supposed to get past that, or am I just supposed to move on? Like,
Yeah, if you give someone the POF answer when they ask for proof of funds, what I wrote does a couple of things. One, it takes the spotlight off of you, the wholesaler, giving them a proof of funds from you and shifting their perspective into one, yes, you will get the POF, no problem. I'll get you whatever you want, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. But here's how we're going to have to do it because this is what I do. So it's also a soft introduction into being a wholesaler. And it's not that soft. Like, it may seem smooth to you guys, but a real estate agent that knows what a wholesaler is and has been dealing with wholesalers for a while, that is 100% identifying yourself as a wholesaler, or at the very least, not the end buyer. So if they don't want to work with a wholesaler, there's nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can do about that is, again, follow up. So if you talk to someone or you send an offer to someone and you've gotten to the point where they know you're a wholesaler and they don't respond to you anymore, follow up in a month if the property's still listed. Hey, I don't know if you remember me or not. I reached out to you a month ago about this property on 123 Main Street. Yes, I am a wholesaler, but I still have buyers that are ready to go, and I see the property is having some trouble moving. It's been on the market for another month. Is there any chance your seller would entertain an offer from a wholesaler? And if they say no after that or ghost you, move on. 1.5 million properties listed. We don't chase. We'll follow up, but that's it.
And the last question I have is because last week I had, and I believe it's my fault too, honestly, because I'm pretty sure I botched it because so they asked me to send the contracts and then I watched the contract video, but I don't know if I sent the contracts properly. And then I guess because of that, they were like, oh, maybe this guy's not serious. Because one lady said, oh, send the one over with like the signatures. Then another lady was like, oh, send one in a PDF form. And then, so I did both of them, but I don't really know if I did it right. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best course also when they ask you to put it on paper. Like,
so anytime a real estate agent says, put the offer on paper, I want you guys to fill out the contract like the video says, sign it, date it, and then download it as a PDF and email it to the real estate agent. Leave the seller's name completely blank. You put the address, you put the closing date, the terms, you fill it out like normal. Seller name is blank, and then you, regardless of what the real estate agent says, oh, we send us the one for the signature. No. Because much like how real estate agents don't want us to put in offers on properties we haven't seen, we're not sending you a contract for signature on a contract that you haven't seen. Because that's a waste of time. So send them the contract as a PDF every time. And only after they have seen it, looked at it, and then they're ready to proceed, then you ask for the seller's email address so you can email them the signable copy through DocHub or DocuSign, whatever you're using.
I was using I am using DocuSign, but I don't know how to like I know how to fill it out, but I don't know how to do it where I fill it out and then I can like download it.
So there'll be an arrow once you're done filling it out. Once you have signed it, that should be the last thing that you do. You put all the terms in there. You put the sign box. You put the date box. You sign it. Once that's done, there will be an arrow in the top right corner or in the little hamburger thing in the corner, and it'll say download. And you will download it as a PDF, and it'll download to your computer, just like anything else. And then you take that PDF and you save it as an attachment to an email, and you email it to the real estate agent.
Because I think I seen the download, but when I downloaded it, it came out blank. But when I went in, yeah, like I filled it out, and then but when I downloaded it, it was like blank. And I'm like, but when I looked inside, everything was where it was supposed to be. So I'm like, am I doing something? Well, clearly I'm doing something wrong because it's not supposed to be blank, but I don't know why it was turning out blank.
Yeah, that's weird because on Doc Hub, that literally what I just said, and then I download it and then I just send it.
Well, I was using DocuSign, but maybe I should look into Doc Hub because
if you guys use Doc Hub, not that I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but if you guys use Doc Hub, I can help you more because I also use Doc Hub. I don't use DocuSign, so I can't navigate it as easily.
okay. Well, I guess that's the next problem. I'm just gonna have to start my follow-ups better tomorrow because, yeah, definitely I was just doing that and I was just taking the route that if they're not replying to me, it's probably because they already know the seller's gonna say no. But yeah, tomorrow I'm definitely gonna. Well, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna start following up with all of my stuff that I got.
Yeah, I
Son,
think that's a good idea.
if I may, another way to download a document is to press print, and when it's asking you where to print, and that once you press the arrow down, you can save as PDF.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We used to do that in school. Well, when I went to school, we only had one printer. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. You go to, go to File, click on Print, and then that page will pop up, and it'll ask you what printer do you want to print from. It'll be a drop-down menu, and then you hit that, and it'll say Print to PDF, and then it'll just ask you where you want to save it. Hit Desktop, and it'll save it to your desktop. That's another way you can do it.
But if you're talking with the realtor, right, and they ask you to put it on the paper, you leaving all the seller's information blank, but you're emailing it back to the realtor, or you have to ask for the seller's email.
No, when the when the real estate says put it on paper, let me take a look at it anytime or any variation of that. Basically, the first time the real estate agent ever sees the contract should always be as a PDF. And then once we looked at it, my seller's good, they would like to take your deal. Okay, great. Give me the seller's email address so I can email them a signable copy. That's it.
Okay.
Then once you get that email address, then you're going to finish following the instructions of the video and put their boxes where they put their name, where they put, whatever else they need to put, and where they sign. And then you send it to them through Doc Hub or DocuSign.
Now, I also have two different emails, and one is like a business email, but I didn't form like my LLC yet. And I also came into this last week as well because it's for like I'm going to name my business email is what I'm going to name my LLC. But basically, when I was talking to the realtor, he was like, "Oh, I googled the name and nothing's coming up. Like, so are you legitimate?" And then I started explaining to him. So, is there a way that I could, if I come across that again? Can I overcome that? Or because they're in their mind, they're like, I Googled this and I didn't see anything, so this guy's probably a fraud or whatever.
Well, yeah, but that's going to come from what you're telling them in the first place. So what are you telling them that's triggering for them to say, well, what company do you work for?
Well, that guy, he had said that that the property had a mortgage, and I was like, oh, that's fine. We can also do a subto or the hybrid, right? And then he was like, oh, I never heard of that. Then I explained it to him, and then he came back, and then that's when he was like, oh, well, can you give me anything to show your legitimacy, because I've never heard of that. And then he's like, oh, that sounds like mortgage fraud. And I'm like, so I don't know if it was more so he wasn't believing
it's because you said we. See, anytime a singular person in a business setting says we, it infers that there is a company behind them.
Okay.
It's more subconscious than anything, but now hearing you say it, yeah, that as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, it's because you said we, which is fine. You can still say we. So when someone asks, and I just had this happen today earlier, so I'll tell you guys what I told him. When someone says, what company do you work for? I don't work for any company. I partner with these investors individually. They tell me what they're looking for, and then I go out and I go get it for them. This is one property that multiple of my investors would be interested in under these terms. So if we can get it under these terms or something similar, I've got a little bit of wiggle room, not much. I know at least 4 or 5 of them who'd want to jump on this deal. As soon as I can identify which one of them actually wants to move forward, I'll gather their proof of funds, I'll gather the EMD, and I'll have it submitted within 48 hours. I just need 2 weeks to vet them out to see which one of them wants to move forward. See, everything that I say, whatever the start of it is, ties right back into what I always say. It's all one big loop. I need a POF, not a problem. Let me tell you a little. Sure, I can get you a POF. Let me tell you exactly what I do. And then boom, ties back. Oh, well, what if the investors don't make the mortgage payment on time? Well, that's a great question. So we have a deed in lieu in the contract. Basically, they sign away their right for foreclosure, arbitration, anything like that. So if they miss a payment on the 1st, you're immediately notified. If they don't make that payment 14 days later, guess what? That property goes right back into your name, and you can sell it literally the very next day. But I'll tell you what, all the investors that I work with, and I work with about 4 or 5 investors in your area, I've been working with them for a long time. They've hired me to actually find these properties for them. And I'm telling you, if I can get this in these terms or something similar, I got a little bit of wiggle room, but not a whole lot. I know at least half of them would be interested and want to jump on it. And I'll tell you another thing too. I've been working with them for so long, not one of this, that's never happened. And I'm gonna tell you why that doesn't happen. Because if there was ever a situation where my buyers couldn't afford the monthly payment, they would just sell the property, pay the seller off, take a loss, and move on to another property. But like I said, I've been working with them for years. They're all vetted out. And as soon as I identify which one wants to move forward, I got no problem submitting their proof of funds and EMD 48 hours later. I just need 2 weeks to let them do their due diligence on the property. See, it doesn't matter what they say in the beginning. I'm going to tie it right back to what I've already told you guys to say.
Right.
Once you guys have those little bit of answers, you can craft your own, just like that. That one was mine. The thing that I wrote for you guys, that's mine. You guys just need to make your own using the same ideas that I'm giving you. And it all just ties right back together. So that's literally what I would do. I would craft my answer for that specific one. And for that specific one, I don't work for a company. I work with these investors individually. So yeah, I mean, I can give you my LLC name, but nothing's going to pop up. I don't advertise. It's just something I do for my own business.
Right. Okay. That definitely helps a lot.
Cool.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, Ivan, do you have another question, or is your hand still up?
Yeah, I have a question.
What's up?
So there's that one property that we talked about last week, the one that you said needed a homestead buyer.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to, I remember we were supposed to hop on with your team, or I was supposed to hop on the call with you or your team. How do I schedule one-on-ones with you?
Just DM me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you just DM me. Today I'm booked. I actually have to jump off here at 5 because I have a 5 o'clock. So the rest of the day today I'm booked, but refresh my memory. What were we doing? Oh, my team was going to teach you how to do homestead deals.
Right. I've actually been shopping this deal around a little bit. I have somebody who put an offer on it today, and I have somebody walking today and somebody walking it Thursday.
Oh, that's fantastic, dude. Then why do you need my team? Show off?
Well, I'm just because I want to know, just in case I have to go the homestead route, exactly how I need to present that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Not that I'm trying to pass you off on a video, but it does exist for this reason. Have you watched the How to Dispo Homestead Deal video?
I didn't even know you had one.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel.
Okay, I'll go check that.
You guys keep going through the stuff that I put out. Literally every question you guys could ever ask me is on there. But yeah, if not, do me a favor, shoot me a DM right now, just saying Homestead Dispo, and as soon as we get off this call, I'll just link you the video.
Okay.
That way you won't have to go look for it.
Awesome. And then one more question for you. So there's another deal that I'm working on with a guy in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. I want to know how I could. I want to offer him probably a balloon because I think he only owns like $4,000. Owes like $4,000 on the mortgage on this property. It's in Texas. Can I give you the address?
What? No, don't give me the address because then everybody would have the address.
Okay.
But hold on a second. How much is he listing the property for?
He's listing it for $194.
Okay, and how much is his mortgage?
His mortgage is like $4,000.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, What does he want for a down payment?
So I told him, would he be interested in a created offer? And he said, yeah, well, let's talk about a down payment. He said, but if it's not a decent down payment, I'm not sure if I'll be interested. I said, well, let's see if we can do that first. I'll present two options for you. You could buy it outright, or we'll have a creative offer for you. But I'm waiting on pictures from him. Should be getting them today, but I want to have something kind of like mapped out. It looks like this one would require a balloon, but I've never really worked with those.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Depending on what he wants for the down payment, how much he's selling it for? 194?
Yeah.
So
that's actually very negotiable as well.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because you're capped out at $20,000 for your down payment.
Okay.
Your max is 10%.
Okay.
You got to watch the SOP video if you haven't seen that one yet. So if your max is 10%, that's 20 grand. The only thing that you can do, and it's, I don't want to say it's a Hail Mary, but he's already brought up the down payment. So there's no way to know what he's expecting. Did you ask him what he's expecting?
Nope.
Okay. So shooting in the dark, I would tell him, we'll give him a $220,000 purchase price. We'll give him the extra $20,000 cash at closing. And no, you can't say that. Give him a $215,000 purchase price. We'll give him the extra $15,000 cash in his pocket at closing and pay off the mortgage at closing. And then all you have to do is negotiate a monthly payment based off of the cash on cash return. And here's what you're actually going to do. You're going to actually write it up as a $19,000 down payment. And then on the additional term side, you're going to put the escrow instructions. You're going to instruct the escrow in the additional terms to say, hey, $4,000 of the $19,000 down payment is to be used to pay off existing mortgage loan number, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
So what you're telling escrow to do is at closing, give your seller $15,000 of the 19, take the remaining $4,000 and pay that mortgage off.
Okay.
And then that way you only have a seller financing deal now of the $190,000.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I'm gonna have to listen to this again, but it makes sense.
Okay. So essentially, the reason why I say it's kind of like a Hail Mary, because we don't know how much he's expecting, but I'm expecting that he's expecting more than what I just told you. And that's just because of the comment he made about the down payment. However, he did make that comment very soft if your verbiage was exactly what he said.
Yeah. He's trying to sell it. He's tried to sell this property several times. He's listed it with an agent. Like the agent that he has, their contract's about to expire. He's had it on the market for a while. So I
How long has he had it on market?
Man, so from what I've heard, he's been trying to sell it since I want to say almost like probably early in the year. He said he tried to put it on a wholesale. He said he tried to put it on like on Facebook Marketplace. It didn't do well there. He got an agent. The agent it didn't do well there. It's about to expire. So now he's trying to sell it. Like that's not the question.
What's his name?
Joel.
Okay, so here's what you're going to say. Or not exactly, but you're going to say something along the lines of this. Joel, here's the situation. I'm on the outside looking in at what you're dealing with, and I can tell you've been going at it uphill. But let's recap. And if it's okay, if I have your permission, I'm going to be honest with you because I respect you. I don't know who you've been talking to that doesn't respect you, but I do. So I'm going to tell you the truth if that's okay with you. Is that okay with you, Joel?
Right.
Joel, you tried to sell your property on Facebook Marketplace for 90 days and it was a disaster. You tried to sell your house on market with a real estate agent and nothing happened. I'm sure you've had wholesalers try and call you and lowball you. And I know you're getting sick of it. And I know you actually want to sell this property. You got stuff you want to do. So I'm going to give you an offer, but I need you to be open to it because you've damn near tried everything else and it's not working.
Right.
I can give you an extra $15,000 on top of what you're asking. I can give you a $215,000 purchase price. I can pay off your mortgage at closing, and I can put $15,000 cash in your pocket. And then I can give you X amount of dollars per month. That's literally the best that I can do. Because if I can get it under these terms, I've got about 4 or 5 investors who I'm pretty sure will take this deal down in a heartbeat. All I need from you, I don't need any money. I don't need any nothing. I need 2 weeks. I don't need months and months and months like real estate agents and Facebook Marketplace and other wholesalers. I need 2 weeks so I can reach out to my buyers so they can do their due diligence on the property. And I will even bring you back feedback, and I'll let you know exactly why they're either taking it or not taking it. So even if this doesn't work, Joel, I'll still be able to give you something valuable that you can use to try and sell your house in the future. This is literally a win-win, but those numbers are the best that I can do. Can you make that work?
Okay.
That's what you need to say. Or something, something like that. And the point is, you need to be honest with him.
Yeah.
Joel, you've tried everything else, bro. It's not working. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to do this, we're going to have to give it a real shot. Could I tell you I can give you $50,000 down? Of course I could. And you know what's going to happen? We're both going to waste our time for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not here to waste my time, and I definitely don't want to waste your time. Here's what I can do. If you can make that work, let's move your house. If you can't, good luck to you.
Right. I like that.
That's how you take care of something like that.
Okay. I like that. I'll go ahead and I'll present that for sure. So you said the terms is 215 down. So you give him a
$215,000 purchase price.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get $15,000 cash in his pocket at closing, and we'll pay off the mortgage. And you can even tack on a 5-year balloon and say, hey, look, man, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars per month, and then I'll even get you paid off in 5 years.
Okay.
And let him know it should be 10. With a $200,000 purchase price, our protocol is 10 years. I'm going to do it for you in 5.
Okay. That really helps out. I think if I put that together, if I say it the way that you did, which I'm pretty sure I could pretty much muster it up that way, I should be able to close him. He's sending pictures today. After he sends pictures of the inside, just to see if it's livable, then I'll be able to go ahead and pitch him that way.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Let's see. Oh, Ithaca, what's up?
Hey, I was going to that was amazing, Sean. You are absolutely amazing. Like that silver tongue of yours, I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's good.
I was going to ask you to repeat the scenario from before, but you said that this is recorded. So when and where can we access this so I can watch it again?
This is being recorded, and it'll be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m. And then if you want, I can, for everyone that's here, I'll tag everyone, but I'll say, hey, here's the recording for training last night. And you just click that link. It'll be on my YouTube channel.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
What scenario did you want me to repeat?
It was the gentleman before. So his business entity is not established. The guy Googled him and was just like, who are you? And so you went through the process, to all of that, everything you said, all of that.
So basically, when someone says, what's the name of your company? And again, I don't get that a lot because even though there's a bunch of me, I say it's an I thing. That's how I talk. So I don't get that a lot. But when you use the word we, or even in your letter, look at your letter on Deal Sniper. It says we are excited to offer you. So yeah, it would make sense unless you want to change that to I, then you want to say, hey, I don't work for a company. It's me and my partner, and we work and form partnerships directly with these investors. In this market, locally, we have about 9. And if we can get the deal locked up under these terms or close to it, I know for a fact 4 or 5 of them would be interested. And as soon as I identify which one of them is interested, I have no problem submitting EMD and proof of funds 48 hours later. I just need 2 weeks to give them time to do their due diligence so I can identify which one of them wants to move forward. So basically what you're telling him is like, hey, it's not a company. This isn't like some official thing. You can tell them I've had a lot of success. If you haven't yet, use my story. You're in the community. We're learning from each other. So use my story. Hey, I've been doing this for about 5-6 years. I've had a lot of success in the last 2 years getting properties creatively for my investors. In your market, I've got about 9 local investors. And if I can get this deal locked up for these terms or close to it, I got a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot. I know for a fact 4 or 5 of them will jump all over it. All I need to do is get this under contract for a couple of weeks so they can do their due diligence. As soon as I figure out which one of them wants to move forward, I'll give you proof of funds and EMD 48 hours later. No problem. I don't know who said, oh, Ithaca, did that answer your question?
Yes, that was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. David, what's up?
Yeah, also too, so when it comes to the realtors, right? When I get responses like, well, why would I pitch them the idea of X amount down and the seller finance being whatever of dollar amount when the purchase price is this? Like, sometimes I feel like when I'm speaking to them, it comes off like that they told like the seller, hey, I can sell your house for X amount of dollars. So it kind of feels like to me that when I'm coming to them with these offers, I don't know if it's going to make them look bad if they go back to the seller like, I know I told you this, but there's this offer, you know, if that makes sense. But I don't know if that's like a thing or not.
I don't think that's a thing because typically we're offering them more than what it's listed for. So if anything, bringing a $20,000 over asking offer to the seller would be a good thing. Like, hey, look at how good I am. I just got you an offer that's $20,000 over our asking price. So it sounds like what you're dealing with is either a real estate agent being a little sassy or a real estate agent not understanding what you're offering. Because it sounds like they're saying, why in the world are you offering this much when it's only listed for this much? How does that make sense? Is that kind of what you're getting, or am I wrong? Am I off?
I mean, it's a bit of that, and then also too, they're like, and then I'll explain to them like, oh, well, the interest is wrapped into the purchase price, so we're looking because they'll say that, they'll be like, and that wouldn't even cover the interest, and then I'll explain like, well, the interest is wrapped into the purchase price, so you know whatever, and they're like, but I think based on what you just said, I think it's that they're like, I listed it for this, and you want to pay them this. I don't understand.
So going back to modifying the information that you guys have access to, if you look at and really read the why 0% interest answer, it explains, again, it does a soft introduction into the fact that we're not the end buyer. So it gives them the idea that we're wholesaling, kind of tiptoeing in that. So like, are you good with that? You good with that? Okay, you good? Okay, now let's talk about this part. And then it lets them know how the numbers work and exactly what we're trying to do. So to answer that question, you can say, again, in your own words, look, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, I represent buyers that are trying to put this property in their portfolio as a buy and hold. They're going to put tenants in it. They're only looking to acquire this property for cash flow purposes. So I can tweak the numbers a little bit. I've got a little bit of wiggle room, but not much, because if the property doesn't cash flow, they have zero incentive to buy it, regardless of the purchase price, the interest rate, none of that. So what I did was I gave you an offer with the interest already built in. That's why I gave you more money on top of the purchase price. So your sellers aren't missing out on anything. I'm not trying to lowball them. They're still getting their money. We're just putting it on the purchase price so that I can simultaneously keep the deal attractive and cash flowing for my potential investors so we can get this house sold. Does that make sense? That's what you say to them. And then you have to ask at the end. Now, I've been told that does that make sense can sound condescending. I mean, sometimes I hope it does, but most of the time you need to just find a way. Does that answer your question, or does that help? Does that clarify some sort of opening for them to either say yes it does or no it doesn't, and then you can dive in deeper. And if they say no, I don't understand, then the question should always be, oh, no problem. Which part of that specifically don't you understand? And again, you got to be careful with your tone, because that can sound like real, like parental guardian. And it's like, you ain't my daddy. But if you say it in the right tone, it gives them the opportunity to explain, well, here, this part I don't understand. And then you just break it down again in a different way. And you just keep breaking it down and keep breaking it down and keep breaking it down until they get it. And then once they don't have any questions anymore and they understand, then they have a much better understanding of why this deal may be good for their investor. So that's why I give you guys all this information. You guys don't need to know how seller financing works or how the disposition process works to send out these emails. I tell you so that you guys can educate real estate agents that don't know, because once they do know, then it's going to be like, oh, yeah, this isn't real estate fraud or mortgage fraud or whatever the hell that other person said. This isn't that. All this is this. Okay. And then they have a better, because when someone is uncomfortable explaining something, you think they're going to volunteer to go explain it to someone that hired them to do a job? No. Oh, I don't understand. So just no, they're not interested, because the real estate agent doesn't understand. So if you give them an opportunity to ask questions, that's why I'm always encouraging you guys to get on the phone with them. Some things just can't be done over text. Then you have that opportunity to create a dialogue. You create a dialogue with the real estate agent. You guys get on the same page. You get on the same page, whether they like the deal for their seller or not. You've given them something that other wholesalers don't give them. So when you call them again, or you follow up with them, hey, how'd it go with that property last month? Did you ever get it sold? You know it didn't sell, or you know it did because you looked it up first because it was on your sheet. But regardless of what the answer is, you start, hey, just out of curiosity, good job on that, getting it sold. Oh man, that sucks. Let me know if I can do anything to help. My offer is still good if it hasn't sold. But in the meantime, do you have any other sellers that are having difficulty moving their property that might be open to a creative offer? My investors are still looking for this neighborhood. That's how you build relationships with realtors. You want to double in the deal? That's fine. I don't care. Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, do it. I don't care. Make your money. Do your thing. You know why you guys like me so much? Because I genuinely care if you make money. And you can feel it. You can hear it in my voice. What do you guys think a real estate agent is going to look at you if they can hear it in your voice? They're going to stick to your hip too. And they're going to send you deals. Then they'll start sending you off-market deals. Now no realtor commission, higher numbers, higher assignment fee, faster moving the deal. That's how you build empires, one brick at a time. That's why when I see you guys going off on real estate agents, y'all better be careful in the Discord. There's real estate agents in the Discord. Sometimes you guys be going wild on these real estate agents. It's not their fault. They don't make the decision. You know, we got to educate. We got to give them I'm even thinking about building a YouTube channel just for you guys to send real estate agents the links. Here's how the deal is broken down, what you just received. I've toyed with that idea for like the last month. That's why I teach you guys how to understand this stuff so that you can explain it to other people. Yeah, I know, but do you really think a real estate agent will? I know I'm judging. I shouldn't do that, but I'm calling it what it is. I don't know if a real estate. What do you mean to understand this offer? I got to watch this video. They would really think it was a scam at that point, or some sort of advertising.
Not at all.
Anyway, I've ranted a lot. Does anyone have any more questions? Okay, cool. Then I'm going to let you guys go. If you need anything from me, I will be busy for probably the next 2 or 3 hours, just working with the team, getting stuff moved. Yvonne, you're going to send me a message about something. Dispo your homestead deal. Yeah, send me a DM so I can send you the video for that.
I just sent it to you. Did you get it? It's coming from Joey, actually. That's me.
Joey, that's you. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
cool.
then I will send that out to you guys. Other than that, you guys have a great night. If you have any other questions, you can hit me up in the Discord and I'll talk to you later. See ya.